I mean, now that you have so many followers on social media, I can't imagine that all of the comments that you get are positive. And with the AGT moment, it was sort of like those few comments that like broke your heart, but now it could be on a daily basis where you get negative comments. Is there a numbness now to it, or is there way that you have trained yourself to kind of go back to manage the reaction?
Yeah, I'm not sure why, but it's always gonna hurt. It's never fun to hear people say like mean things about you, especially when people jump on the comments and like it and agree with it. And, it's always gonna hurt a little bit. And I think it's such an important thing to like take a step back from it and like be able to gauge where you're at. And sometimes it's like, you know what, I need to take a break from social media. I need to get off of it for a week. And I do that every once in a while. I'll take a social media fast and I won't go on it. And I'll do that until I feel like I'm safe to come back. Other times it's more like, oh, wow, that really hurt. If that really hurt, well, that means that I believe it. It means that, because if someone says something that I absolutely don't care about or don't agree with, it's like, that's silly. It was really won't bother me. It's only when somebody says something that you're like, oh, actually, like I'm kind of insecure about that. They got me in my weak spot. And so I feel like it's almost like a little bit of a self check in when something really hurts, regardless of what it is in life, whether it's a hater comment or whether it's like a comment said by a family member that you're like, oh, I didn't like that. That made me feel really uncomfortable. It's important to like take that as a gauge and say like, okay, why did it hurt so much? What do I need to do to like work on myself a little bit so that, and I remember the most recent one that really got me was people started talking about how old I looked. And no woman ever wants to hear that she's like looking ancient. And it really hurt. Like I immediately went online and bought like a bunch of skincare products and like, got a facial. And like, I was like, oh my gosh, am I actually looking old? And then I stopped and I was like, wait. Yeah, I've been doing this for 12 years. Of course I look older than I did when I started. And like, of course I'm aging and that shouldn't be the end of the world. And so it made me, rather than trying to like scramble and be youthful forever. Of course, I'm always gonna want to take care of my face, but more importantly, it was like this is a good moment for me to realize I want to be okay with aging. I want to be okay with that. Otherwise, I'm going to be miserable for the rest of my life. And so I think that was actually a very important moment for me to have and take into perspective that like aging is a privilege. I am so much more than my body and my face. Okay, we're gonna work on that. We're gonna work on that. So, anyways, I think sometimes these comments can be a great way to check yourself.
Absolutely. For the record, you look great, Gina.
Thank
Absolutely.
you. Thank you. Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, Gina looks great. You look great.
No,
Thank you.
honestly, I could definitely feel what you're saying right now. So I'm just thinking, I'm like, preach, lady, preach. You got this.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. A lot of my girlfriends, when I like shared this with them, they were all like, "Me too." Like, yes, it's such a epidemic in our world of women
Oh my
just being
God.
terrified of aging, and um, I think we need to rewrite the narrative. Like, it's such a way that our minds and society controls us and makes us feel like that's our only value in a way. And I was like, yeah, I want to be part of the process, a tiny piece of that process of rewriting that story. That we're so much more than
Yes,
that.
yes, yes.
100%.